What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Bocean Boys Outdoors YouTube channel. So you guys might remember this 1971 Starcraft from one of my previous videos. I'll drop a link down below to the video where we took it out for the first time and gave it a test run. So in this episode, we're going to be taking this thing over to Home Depot. We're going to be picking up some of the replacement wood that we need, and we're going to be putting a new floor in this thing. We're going to be sanding down some of these nasty looking railings here. We're going to pull these handles off and get this transom rebuilt. We're going to get all of that done because it's real important to get all that stuff done and get this boat looking fresh and new again. So we're going to head over to Home Depot, pick up some lumber, and then get some work on this boat. What's going on, guys? So we just got back from Home Depot. I got the supplies here in the truck to do a decking floor inside of this boat here. What we're going to do is, I think we're going to take all of this wood out of here and all this plywood that I put in here temporary, and we're going to run our deck boards along this body line of the boat here, and it should give us a nice solid decking across the boat. So I'm gonna get this stuff from the truck inside of the boat because unfortunately it's starting to rain, so I'm gonna get that stuff moved, and we're gonna have to move this project for either later today if it quits raining or for another day. So let's get to it. And there we go. Alright, guys, so unfortunately my tripod got left in my fiance's truck, but I'll show you guys what I'm doing. I had pressure washed out the boat to get as much of this old paint and gunk off. Now my boards are going to be running inside of this body line of the boat. From that slat back there, these center runners, I guess you'd call them, even though they're aluminum, these center runners are on 12 inches perfect. So I'm using, over here I got my 6-inch wide boards. So I had already cut a couple of these boards. And so what my idea is, when I put these boards in here, they'll just line up tight like that, right inside of this channel. And that'll be my decking all the way back to that last slat back there. That gives me 10 feet of decking, and this old platform's going to come out of here. See, I pressure washed that. It didn't come out too bad, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out of here, and I'm going to move these 2x4s down right below that channel, and then this front part here from that last runner forward, I'm going to make it a hatch that lifts forward, or sorry, a hatch that lifts up towards the front of the boat, so you have storage for your anchor, maybe your fire extinguisher, a paddle if it fits, something like that. What's going on, guys? So it is the next day and I'm out here working on the 1971 Starcraft boat still. So I did do a little bit of work yesterday in the rain. You'll see that in the beginning of the video. I cut that kind of short. So what I was doing here is I got some of these treated lumber boards. They were about $9 a piece for, I think they were 1x6s, 12 foot long. So what I'm doing is I'm just cutting these angles here along the boat and I'm running these boards in. Now, this is the only one that came just a hair short, but I didn't want to throw it out because it was only about a ½ inch short on either side. But the rest of them, they're just lining up perfect. I got, I want to say 4 feet of floor done so far. Yeah, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, 4 feet of floor done so far. And I'm working my way back. I'm going to go to that, all the way back to that last runner there. That'd be about 10 feet of floor from where I started. So we're going to start there, and we're going to see where it goes. I'm going to set the tripod up while I'm working and just get to it. All right, guys, so here I am back again. I've been doing some more work on the boat. Let me flip the camera. This is all the lumber I have left. I've been making all my cuts. So I had some smaller pieces that were scrap. I decided to do a quick little throw together to rebuild this platform because my son likes to sit up there. I took a piece of plywood and I cut it out to fit the bottom there, so hopefully we could use this compartment as an anchor storage for now. I'll eventually take these 2x4s out of here and I'll drop them down lower below this body line here, and I'll make it a flush mount hatch, so that way this will just open up real nice for anchor storage. So this is where I'm at now. I've got quite a bit of the floor done. It's looking really good. What I like about this the most is up here, this boat was super flexible. I don't know if you can see how flexible that is back here where there's no floor. But up here, it's good and solid, and the whole boat feels like it wants to stay one solid piece, which is great. I like that. So I've been putting these boards in, and I've just been giving them some slight taps. Getting them squared up. Once I got my angles cut, and I've just been throwing 2 screws a piece down this center board here. I wasn't sure where it was going to line up when I first started doing the front boards. It was giving me kind of a, this is where it was sitting flat on the floor, but now I got maybe, wow, I don't know, maybe 3 inches of gap there to the floor. So I'll have to put some more filler wood in there, just something to keep that level. I'm only going to have enough boards to come to about here. I'm going to have to go pick up some more. I sold myself short on my count. I should have took a tape measure with me to Home Depot. These boards, they said they were 6 inches wide, but they're actually only 5.5, so I was losing ½ an inch per board on the way back, and, well, I didn't get enough boards, so I'm going to have to head over to the hardware store and get some more, but that's the progress so far. I'll check back in with you guys once I get the rest of these boards in. And I got another boat over here that I'm going to do some work on today too, and might get some footage of that. It's got a 25 horsepower Johnson tracker. I'll definitely get some footage of rebuilding the carburetor for sure. But yeah, let's get back to it. Alright guys, so checking back in. I did a little bit more on the, I made it to where my center support is right there. It's not the best work. It's kind of just some janky cobby thrown together stuff with some screws. And I got this center support back here with a little piece in the center there. I mean, it's solid. It's not the most solid there, but with these planks here, it's completely solid. This boat is solid. So, yeah, that's about all I'm gonna do for the center support there. I got 2 more full boards and 1 more half board I can cut, so I can put 5 more slats in here yet. Get me to about here. And I'm going to have to make another Home Depot run to get maybe 6 more boards or something like that. Or 4 more boards. We'll see. What's going on, guys? So update on the green. Last time, on the last part of this video, I was maybe like here with the floor. Well, I finished out doing all of the floor. I ended up building this box in the back as a bench. This last section here, I just sliced in the middle and clipped in there. But yeah, it came out fantastic on the floor. I took the 15 horsepower off because it just wasn't enough power. I ended up selling that thing in between the last part of this video and this video. It's been a couple days since I did some recording. But I lost some footage too. But I built this box back here. It's real nice and solid. I got to put some more supports in here, but I had to get some more screws. So that's going to be our bench seat in the back there. That's going to house our gas tank and our battery. So I'm working in progress right now. I'm putting this steering wheel in. I got a rope steering setup going on. That's what type of steering wheel this is, and that's what the motor that I have, the 25 horsepower, is set up for. That's the bracket that goes on the motor. I got my brand new cable here, and then I got my 5/16 bolts to through bolt the motor through the transom. I haven't got a chance to rebuild this transom yet. I think I'm going to save that for a winter project. I mean, it's super solid. It's got this 2-inch wide aluminum C-channel here that goes straight down to the bottom. I mean, with the 15 horse on there, I could gun it from a dead stop and it didn't even move. So I'm just going to leave it for the season and see how it goes. So I'll check back in with you guys once I get this motor on and this steering setup. I'm currently mounting my console here. Fish finder's going to go there. Got some lights on the front, and underneath here is the rope steering setup. So we'll get that done, and I'm going to reuse this switch panel here. I'm going to have a transom light in the back. I'm going to have my navigation lights, and well, this will probably be my navigation lights or my transom light. No, this will be nav lights. This will be navigation. No, nav lights, transom light, and this will be my bilge pump, because I'm going to install a bilge in the back here because we're going to be doing a lot of crabbing and fishing. There's going to be fish guts and blood and all that kind of stuff getting on this deck, so I want to be able to make sure that when we wash it down, the water runs through these boards, and when it comes to the back here, we can bilge it out. So I'll probably be installing the bilge here by the drain plug, because drain plug sits a good bit off the bottom. I mean, enough that I can get my finger underneath it. So I'll probably install bilge here and just run a hose straight out to the side here. So I'll check back in with you once I get this console mounted and I get the motor on. We'll see how it looks and go from there. All right, guys, so here I am back. I got the console mounted up with the bolt holes that were there, and I got the console mounted up with the 3 holes that were there. That's a light on the outside that's going to get wired up. This light's going to get wired up. I got the 25 on the back. I got the clamps tight as they can be. I'm going to through bolt it too. I already drilled my holes. I ran over to my shop to grab a couple of big washers to put on the inside of this rotted wood for the time being. I got some small washers on there for the outside. So we're going to see how that goes. I'll check back in with you guys when I get the steering hooked up. All right, guys, so here I am with another check-in. I'm having this console mounted, but I got it mounted. It's solid. It ain't going nowhere. I got the motor mounted. I got the brackets tight. I through bolted it. Now, this is by no means the correct way to do this, but this is the way I'm going to do it because this is what I got. I had some big flat washers and some nuts that I used as spacers because my bolts were too big. But I'd say this thing is on the boat. The transom doesn't even move. It's lifting the trailer up some when I step on it. So yeah, we'll get back to it once we got these cables run. All right, guys, so this is where I'm at. I got all these cables ran correctly. This is just my excess. I got this one ran up to the pulley, down to the pulley down here. I'll get a better view tomorrow, but I got my cables all ran. Everything is working correctly. Now, when I first ran this, I had put the cable on backwards, so when I would turn to the left, the motor would go to the right. When I turn to the right, the motor would go to the left. So now if I turn my wheel to the left, it turns the motor right. That way I can go left and spin it back around, and it's good straight, and turn the wheel to the right. It turns the motor to the left, which will push the boat to the right. Yeah. So tomorrow I'll get a better view and show you guys how I ran everything up. If you possibly want to install rope steering in your boat, I mean, it's really old technology and nobody uses it anymore, but this is what I had, so this is what I did. This cable was 29 cents a foot at my local farm supply. I live in Lancaster County, so I got Amish farm supplies everywhere. But yeah, so there it is. Alright, guys, so this is where I've gotten to on the 71 Starcraft. And this is the final update on this video. I'm going to close out this video because it's going to be getting long. We got the whole entire deck done. I built this box. Still got to put a lid on that. I put this 25 horsepower motor on here. I had a 15 tiller, took that off. Ran ran all these pulleys and these cables set up to this steering wheel, and the way that works underneath is it just wraps around. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it just wraps around there. So then when you turn the wheel, the motor turns. And vice versa. You turn the wheel the opposite direction and it turns the other way. So I picked up a battery and I'm gonna get all these wires ran and some other good stuff. I got a new winch for the trailer, so that's cool.